You wake up tomorrow, scroll through your phone, and see the most insane headline flash across your screen. A billionaire tech mogul just dropped a cool $1 billion on technology that sounds straight out of science fiction. A device that makes cars run forever. No gas. No charging. No solar panels. Nothing. Just pure, endless motion. Sounds impossible, right? Like something your conspiracy theory uncle would share on Facebook at 3 a.m. But what if I told you this might actually be happening right now, and the entire automotive world is holding its breath? Here's where things get wild. There's this inventor from Zimbabwe, a guy most people have never heard of, who claims he's cracked the code to infinite energy. His name is Maxwell Chikumbutso, and if even half the stories about him are true, he might be the most important person you've never heard of. This man supposedly built a car that drove over 30,000 miles without stopping for fuel, without plugging in, without any external power source whatsoever. And now, whispers from the tech world suggest that a certain electric car pioneer just wrote him a check with 9 zeros on it. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like complete nonsense. Like those ads that promise you'll lose 50 pounds in a week by eating chocolate cake. But stick with me here, because the rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. See, Chikumbutso isn't some random guy in his garage claiming he invented perpetual motion. This man has demonstrated his technology multiple times in front of international engineers, scientists, and skeptics. He's shown cars running without engines making noise, generators producing power from seemingly nothing, and devices that make our current understanding of physics look like kindergarten math. The technology we're talking about here is something called an RF power kit. Sounds fancy, but let me break it down in simple terms. You know how your phone picks up Wi-Fi signals? Or how your radio catches stations from miles away? Well, imagine if you could grab all those invisible waves floating around us right now, every electromagnetic signal from every device on Earth, and turn them into actual, usable electricity. That's essentially what Chikumbutso claims to have done. He says his device captures ambient radio frequency energy from the environment and converts it into power that can run a car indefinitely. Think about that for a moment. We're literally swimming in electromagnetic waves every second of every day. From cell towers, satellites, radio stations, even the sun itself. What if all that energy, which is just bouncing around doing nothing, could be harvested? What if your car could drink from an invisible ocean of power that never runs dry? That's not just revolutionary. That's civilization-changing stuff right there. But here's where the plot thickens. About 2 months ago, according to several African tech publications, something interesting happened in Johannesburg. Representatives from a major American electric vehicle company allegedly sat down with Chikumbutso's team from Seth Technologies. The meeting was supposedly so secret that participants had to sign agreements just to be in the room. And what they discussed, if the rumors are true, could flip the entire energy industry on its head. The story goes that engineers from this American company brought a modified version of their flagship electric sedan to Zimbabwe for testing. They fitted it with Chikumbutso's RF kit and ran it under strict laboratory conditions. Now, nobody's officially confirming what happened next, but leaked reports suggest the car ran continuously for weeks. Not hours. Not days. Weeks. Without charging, without stopping, just endless operation powered by invisible waves in the air. Can you imagine the panic in corporate boardrooms if this is real? Every oil company executive probably breaking out in cold sweats. Every battery manufacturer wondering if they're about to become the next blockbuster video. Every power company realizing their entire business model might evaporate overnight. Because if cars can power themselves forever, what else can this technology do? Could your house run without being connected to the grid? Could your phone never need charging again? Could we literally eliminate energy poverty worldwide with a single invention? Now, the skeptics, and there are many, have some valid points. They're asking where the peer-reviewed papers are. Where's the independent verification? Why hasn't this technology been plastered across every scientific journal on the planet? And those are fair questions. Science doesn't work on rumors and whispers. It needs data, reproducible experiments, and rigorous testing. But here's the thing about revolutionary technology. It often appears impossible right up until the moment it changes everything. Remember when everyone said human flight was impossible? When they laughed at the idea of talking to someone on the other side of the world through a wire? When the internet was dismissed as a passing fad that nobody would use? History is littered with technologies that experts swore couldn't exist, right up until they did. And usually, those breakthroughs don't come from established institutions. They come from outsiders, mavericks, people who don't know they're supposed to fail. What makes this story even more fascinating is Chikumbutso himself. This isn't some Silicon Valley entrepreneur with venture capital backing and a PR team. This is a self-taught inventor from Zimbabwe who says his ideas come from divine inspiration. He literally claims that God shows him how to build these devices through prayer and meditation. Now, whether you believe that or not, you have to admit it's a wild origin story for technology that could revolutionize human civilization. And maybe that's part of why certain tech billionaires might be interested. Think about it. If you're someone who's already disrupted multiple industries, who's launching rockets to Mars and building brain-computer interfaces, wouldn't you be curious about an inventor who claims to be channeling innovations from a higher power? Especially if those innovations actually work? It's exactly the kind of crazy that might just be crazy enough to be true. The timing of all this is particularly interesting too. We're at this moment in history where electric vehicles are finally going mainstream, but they still have massive limitations. Charging infrastructure is a nightmare. Battery production is destroying environments. Range anxiety keeps people clinging to gas cars. The whole industry is basically held together with government subsidies and wishful thinking. Then along comes this technology that could solve every single problem in one shot. No more charging stations. No more battery replacements. No more range anxiety. Just pure, unlimited mobility. But let's talk about what this means for Africa specifically. For decades, the continent has been viewed as a consumer of technology, not a creator. Western companies come in, extract resources, sell products, and leave. But if this technology is real, if this deal actually happened, it represents something profound. An African inventor potentially holding the keys to the next